Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Damn. Let's go, man.
Nice.
Every
Okay.
time. Every time.
You can get off our backs with that music copyright stuff, man.
My fault about the kid in the background. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
all good.
Man,
It's
I
all
told you to pull out, bro. You got to chill.
You talking about?
I told you to chill, man.
Yo, wow.
Nah,
Them
bro.
demons up at 10 p.m., bro.
Nah.
What is good,
the
people?
dude's up in there watching Moana, man, and anytime she starts singing, he kills it.
I ain't gonna hold him. Moana got that fire soundtrack. I ain't gonna hold him.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
What's good, people? Welcome, Saturday Night Nerds. And look at us. We here on a Saturday night with the rest of the nerds squad up. You got me, Max, your boy. We got Straw Hat Poppy. We got Kid Big, Clipmaster in the house, Jack Attack over there, and of course, Emperor Will D. Maven over there as usual. So we squatted up in here, 6 deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, gang on them. Gang
All
on them.
eyes on us.
Yes, sir.
But episode 6, thanks for tuning in. I know people will start trickling in as the day goes, but y'all want to get straight into the topics, or y'all got some small talk y'all want to get into, or let me know, because I'm ready for this, man. You see, I got the shirt ready to talk about the first topic. I got the background ready to talk about some shit. Oh, my man, hey, Kid Nick.
Oh,
Yes. Be ready.
oh man.
Be ready.
So
We
what
got
we
demons
gonna
on
do?
there.
Let us just get into the first topic. So this summer, the movies were trying to jump back into theaters, and this was a movie that I know everybody in this group was a lot of people in this group were probably looking forward to, waiting for the U.S. release of it. My man Lifter hooked up the group with a link to watch it, and that's how I watched it originally. So I seen this movie like 4 times, 1 time in the theater, 3 times here at the crib, but none other than Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie that ended up being the #1 movie in America for a couple weekends, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna just start with a Straw Hat Poppy, and give us your thoughts and if it lived up to the hype, man.
Oh, it definitely did. Because a little background on my relationship with Demon Slayer. Like, I found out about it like the Saturday after it debuted on Hulu, and it was just a random TV anime show that my friend told me about through PlayStation. He said, "Yo, you got to go check this out. Episode 1 was really dope." And I was like, "Man, I don't know if I should trust him because he put me on a lot of crazy shit in the past." So I'm gonna take his advice with a grain of salt, and I'm just gonna try this Demon Slayer TV show and see how it works. Boy, did I not! I had no regrets for that show. I fell in love with the fact the whole family got destroyed out the gate.
Right at
I was
the
like, he went from being like a normal everyday charcoal man to coming home to his whole last name wiped out of existence. And only thing left is Nezuko, and she's trying to eat this man. And then, like, he runs into Giyu, and everybody knows who he is. He's the ladies' man, the lady killer. And Tanjiro just pulled like some OG shit. He defended Nezuko from getting slayed, and it turns out like Nezuko was actually going to become a good demon. So from that point on, I was like, I need to look up more information on where this show came from, and I accidentally stumbled on the manga, and just by accident, I read into a couple chapters, and like within a couple hours, I was already I was like way into the infant the Mugen Train Act, and I was obsessed with this show. Like before episode 3 came out, I was done with the Mugen Train and headed into the Swordsmith. No, I was headed into the Red Light District arc and then the Swordsmith arc right after that. And I feel madly in love. Like this movie, it was everything I expected it to be. Like I saw a lot of stuff coming, but I never predicted the animation would be that good. And the comedy never fails. You would expect anime to not be as funny as it is, but Demon Slayer's comedy is like
We got an intruder. Hold on.
that's a different level. Coop Dog.
Yep.
Coop, Coop trying to get in on the show too.
Yep.
Yeah, but like it really high emotions for me. Like I felt bad like learning about Rengoku's death during the manga, so I knew like once he hit screen, it was gonna be a completely different feel. And the guy that he faced, I can't pronounce his name.
Upper Moon 3. Yeah.
Is it
Something Azaka?
Akaza.
Right?
Something like that.
Akaza.
Yeah, I'll never be able to pronounce it. Like, but he's one of my favorite Upper Moon demons. He showed up with the most badass entrance ever, and like he stole the sunshine away from, or he stole the spotlight from the other demon that was running the train completely. And if he wanted to, he could have washed all 4 of them but the sun was rising and Rengoku was getting the best of him, so he had to take off. Tanjiro was like, "You punk bitch, don't run!" And just
The sword.
impales her with the blade, just like he did in the manga. It's just like, damn, Tanjiro, you just can't keep a sword, bro. And it's like,
man.
just lead to all sorts of other arcs. And the sword, you'll see like later on, like the swordsmith is really tired of his shit. he's like, bro, if I have to do another goddamn sword for you, I'm gonna bust your ass. I'm tired of this. He's real sick of it. And he's got Inosuke and Zenitsu and Nezuko with him. They're all like the perfect squad. It's going to get more. It's going to get even more tragic after this. So it's just like y'all got to stay tuned for the rest of the seasons and the other arcs because it's going to be quite the show.
Yeah.
Nice. Right.
Who you feel, Clipmaster? I know you got to bounce soon. So how you feel about it?
Demon Slayer itself or Mugen Train? Like, so to be honest with you, I had low expectations going into. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead, man.
Really, so Demon Slayer itself, like I had really low expectations going into it because it was again like kind of how Lifter said, it was recommended to me, and I was in between watching like 3 or 4 different animes. So I was like, I'll catch it on the back burner. Same thing kind of happened. Saw the first episode, saw kind of what happened to his family, then saw like the relationship that him and Nezuko had, and especially when they met Gyu. So I was like, okay, this is definitely worth watching. So I put everything else on the back burner. I think I burned through Demon Slayer within a weekend. So it definitely became like one of my favorite shows of all time. So I was definitely excited when Mugen Train came out. So I had no idea what was going to happen about the entire story or even Mugen Train. So it took me completely by surprise. I definitely want to say it's probably one of the best animes I've seen animation-wise with storyline. But yeah, I was not expecting it to get that deep. And I'm going to be real here. I kind of cried towards the end. A little bit, got a little teared up. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You be real, bro.
He went out
cheers only.
Champion. I mean, he gave it his all, man. This kind of makes me wish that like they introduced him like right towards the end of the first season. You know, we see him, go off on the Mugen Train movie, and then that's it. That's like all we got to see of Rengoku. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Other than that, no, I enjoyed it. It was great. Can't wait for season 2. I read ahead a little bit, so I kind of have like an idea now of what happens, but I'm still excited to see how the rest of the second season will go. So yeah, super exceeded my expectations. I loved it. Love it.
Oh, by the way, guys, 24 episodes for this season just been announced.
When does it come out?
Oh,
Absolute heat. It's
I
coming
didn't
out
Tell the story. I love it.
October 4th, I believe.
October 4th?
Sometime in early October.
Nice. Can't wait.
So we get like the tail end of Mugen Train Arc, and then we jump right into Red Light District. 24 episodes. It's
Nice.
on.
Love it.
It starts. I think it starts in the red light district, right? That's kind of where the trailers.
I think so, because they said they were going to wrap it up with the Mugen Train stuff, and then jump right into it. So that
Dope.
24 episodes of pressure.
All right. Cannot fucking wait.
What you feel, Jackie? Oh, I saw this with Jackie in the theater. She was an OG. She didn't want to watch the bootleg, so she was like, I need IMAX, all that shit.
So one thing that I like about what they're doing with some animes now and their movies is, if you remember, like back when like Naruto, not Naruto Shippuden, and even like Inuyasha, when they would have like their spin-off movies, it really had nothing to do with the actual story. Like you still had to have watched the show to like understand certain things that were happening, but it had nothing to do with the actual plot itself. And one thing that I like that Demon Slayer did and is doing is that it's like ended where season 1 ended, went right into this like full movie that you got, and then now it's going to go straight into season 2. So for me, it was like a really good like break to have like the season 1. Now you get a movie, and now like I can watch this movie over and over again because it's available on Funimation, and then get ready for that season 2. So I'm like what Lifter was talking about and what Clip was talking about, which is, you know, a lot of people are talking about Demon Slayer and to watch this show and all this stuff. And I took a break from anime for a while because I was gaming and reading. I wasn't really watching anime for a really long time. And then I saw Demon Slayer come up. So I was like, all right, let's check this shit out. You know, let's see what this is about. Plus I was slaving my life away with One Piece, so I needed a break. I was like, let's check it out. So the first episode, already the first thing that caught my eye, like what Clip and Lifter were talking about, was the animation. I was like, this is a really gorgeous anime. I'm like, I really hope the story also meets with the animation. It's not just going to be all the money was put into the animation. And then, damn, that first episode when like his family died and all that, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be way more than what I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
And of course, like that 24 episodes went by fast. Watched that in the whole freaking weekend. Wouldn't stop watching it and fell in love with it. I was like, this is amazing. This show is like really great. The character development and the freaking animation styles, like everything that they have with it is awesome. And I really like they don't, the story is about like Tanjiro and his sister and her being a demon, but they don't center it only around him. Like they bring in these other characters. They have like certain scenes where it's about him, but it's like brings in other people and shows their other strengths and weaknesses and all this stuff. And that's why, like, when I'm reading these reviews and I talk to people that like knock down Demon Slayer, I'm like, what are you not seeing? They're like, there's no character development. It's all overhyped. And I was like, it's really not overhyped at all. Like, it's overhyped for a reason. It's a really great anime. The characters, the style, I super love it. So then I want to watch the movie, and you know, the bootleg was out. Will obviously shared it. And I was like, I'm not watching it. I refuse, because I was so in love with this anime. I'm not watching no bootleg version. I used to do that as a kid. I'm not doing that. Like, I need the full experience and everything. And I was going to watch it. And then Willie was like, yo, you're not going to invite your boy? And I was like, I didn't know you wanted to go again. So like, fuck it, let's go. So we show up, and one thing that I do when I go to movies, I don't drink anything. I don't eat anything, because I don't take bathroom breaks. I don't like taking bathroom breaks in movies. I refuse, and if I have to go to the bathroom, I will hold it. If the military taught me anything, it was how to hold your fucking bladder. So I already know how to do that. I'm a professional. It's not good for you, by the way. Educational. Don't do that at home. Don't try that in real life. I just want to put that as a side note.
Okay.
But so we got a beer anyways, and I was like, screw it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was so engrossed in the movie that I barely took a sip of my beer. You can ask Willie. Like that beer was still almost full by the end of that movie because I was not taking sips. I was so into it. And what I liked about it is, again, they didn't just focus on the main character. They still showed that, like, he can't do shit. Like, we still have to rely on the Hashira in order to take care of these other demons that still exist out there. And this dude still has a long way to go. And, like, Rengoku, man, is, like, I don't know. Like, he was one of those Hashira, which, like, I didn't know much about him, right? Because they didn't go too much in detail about who he was. Just you really met who he was towards the last few episodes of season 1, and then all of a sudden now we're making a movie all about him. So I was like, all right, we'll see like what this dude's about. And the one thing I will appreciate with Willie is I am a crier. I cry at everything, and I'm sitting there and I'm bawling my eyes out for 10 minutes straight. And Willie didn't look at me. He didn't make a noise. He just let me bawl my eyes out and enjoy the fucking moment. Because the one thing I hate that people do is they go, "You crying? You crying?" And I'm like, "Bro, why are you ruining this moment right now?" He did not do that. He let me cry like the giant. I'm not giant, so like the tiny bitch I am. And I just like sniffled. I had to keep like going like I will actually know if I'm in the moment, I'll just let it run. I had snot everything, just gross. I was a 2-year-old crying like my baby blanket got taken away. It was amazing. And then I think what I really liked is you actually got to see the other side of the Hashira. Because like a lot of the show, you don't know like what kind of person or people they were before. You just see this cold-hearted, like, you know, persona that they put out there that you don't know what their life was like before. You don't realize that they could have been like Tanjiro, that's what they could have lost, and then they became who they were. That's why Tanjiro is so awesome as a main character, because he didn't let that one thing that happened to his family turn him into or have that personality like the Hashira. Like, and so to see that with like Rengoku and like all of that, it just was like, oh my God. I absolutely love the movie. I will overhype this anime every single day. I don't care. To all those people that are haters, like you just like, I don't know what you're watching then for anime wise or what you don't like, but the show, the movie was brilliantly made. The animation style, the colors, like everything about it was just awesome.
Fantastic.
Tell them to eat shit.
Yeah. Eat shit and die, nerd.
All right, Kid Big, go ahead, and then we'll go to Will after you. What you think?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be quick because pretty much everybody's kind of saying the same thing, you know. But some of the things first, how I got into it was I ran out of anime to watch. I was like at this empath, and I was like, I don't know what to watch anymore. So I'm on Crunchyroll, just the homepage, and I have this weird recurring thing that I noticed. I've watched almost every anime that has to do with exorcism or demons. And I saw Demon Slayer. It was in the top. And I was like, I got to watch it. I got to watch it. You know?
This is my realm.
Right. You know? And so I picked it up and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty crazy. And what I like about it is that it's not very predictable in almost any sense at all. Then, you know, fast forward, the movie comes out. I watched the bootleg version. Sorry. But, you know, I couldn't wait, to be honest. I just couldn't wait. Somebody said they had the link. I was like, send me the link. I got to watch this now. And so, you know, I watched it and I was like, man, I didn't predict this. I honestly was like, okay, so this is the way they're going to incorporate, you know what I'm saying, Tanjiro mastering fire breathing. And, you know, or not fire breathing particularly, but like, yeah, but, you know, just along those lines. And I was like, okay, this is a cool little way to, I guess, tie that in together. And definitely not the case, you know, at all. I was like, yeah, okay. So it's still catching me off guard, still like kind of something just fresh, new. And like everyone else said, you know, Definitely animated very well, beautiful looking anime. Yeah, and I just can't wait for. I haven't read any of the manga, but I just can't wait for season 2 to pop up and just keep firing on all cylinders.
Whew.
All right,
For
Will,
sure.
go ahead, bro.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, good. Anyways, but I guess I'll do the usual thing, man, like everybody else. I started off as one of those that was like kind of a hater. Cause I look, man, it said Demon Slayer, and I'm like, not another demon movie. Oh my god, not another demon based anime. Like, I don't want it. Take it back, please. And so they're like, everybody's like, dude, you gotta try it. Please, just if you don't like the first episode, then cool. Whatever. You can cut it off. End it right there. So I started the first episode, man, and I'm like, it gets me engaged in the first episode, like Deontay said, when his family gets clapped, bruh. I was like, okay, now you got my attention. I love a good clapping of the family. You know what I'm saying? So why not? So I keep watching and hold on. Wait a minute. Is that me?
That was mine.
Oh, okay. And then, him and Rengoku got to fighting, you know what I'm saying? And they played the versus OST. I'm like, oh, heck no. I wanted to get up in the theaters and do like a little Indian dance around the fire or something, bro. Like, I was like, okay, this is hitting, man. This is what's up. But yeah, me and Deontay we shedded some thug tears, you know.
Can we just give a shout out to freaking Lisa? Like, she's the homegirl when it comes to singing these openings for this anime. Like, everything, like the soundtrack, like you said, the OST, but the soundtrack, that last song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pressure.
But like, Lisa is a freaking.
She's a goat.
She's a beast. And she just got cheated on.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I saw that by her husband.
Her husband cheated on her. It just hit the news too.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
He was seen with like another woman, like at his place or whatever, and all this stuff.
Whole
How are you gonna cheat on that?
Damn.
You cheated on Lisa, fool?
How do you cheat?
But she's the first artist who was primarily how she was found was creating openings for anime, and how she was first found was on Sword Art Online. That's how she became popular, and they kept like she's done other anime before that, but it was the Sword Art Online, the first season. That opening is that's what caused her to like really blow up, and then they wanted her to do lots of openings. Yep, and she won, what was it, Best Female Artist of the year. She's the first artist for like an anime opening to ever win that, and she fucking just that opening for Demon Slayer is just. You know how many times I've listened to that song just for shiggles? Like, going to work, coming home from work, cleaning the house, taking a shower. I don't care. Like, Lisa she's out there.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, she broke a lot of records with that song too. She got some award nominations for it. She broke some Billboard charts in Tokyo.
Especially when Rengoku dies, and then. Like, okay, you hear the song before you know what happens in the movie, but then after you know what happens in the movie, it has a way different meaning and it hits way harder. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Yo, so what do y'all think about? Because I'm in a couple of anime groups, and some of the cats they out there they wilding. They saying that the story is okay, it's predictable stuff. The only thing that's saving the anime is the animation. Like. Ufotable, every time they animate some shit, you know it's gonna be lit. Like they ain't gonna skip on the bro. It's just amazing. And I referenced the fight, Tanjiro, Nesku, and Rui when they was fighting, and he found out about sun breathing at the last minute and started chasing that motherfucker through the woods, and they was jumping back and he was slicing the webs. I was already in it. But I was like, this shit should be a fucking movie. Like, yo, what is this shit? The ending was different. that fucking circle when he cut the head off. I was like,
yeah, that was great.
With the credits,
If you,
nigga, I was in my living room, goosebumps. Thug, hey, shout out to Tim, Thug Tier, right? Thug Tier.
Yeah.
It was dude, it was Thug Tier. Because I was happy. I was like, this nigga did it with the broke ass sword.
Yep.
His sister came together. They powered
tears.
they did it, you know. And then my man came back next episode, was like, nah, nigga, I'm still here. And I was scared. But here come the Hashira segment day, and that's when you find out how strong they are.
Yep.
When Tanjiro is struggling with this dude, oh buddy, come up. He was like, boom, deathly calm or whatever. Just slice this nigga all fucked up. I'm just like, with Tanjiro's breathing, with the water breathing. I thought Tanjiro was the ace at that shit. I was like, never mind.
Nah. Mind, they the lower moons. These aren't the big ones.
Oh boy, showed up, and then here come the movie, and all I knew about Rangoku was he was the dude that's like by the book, like, you know, she's a demon, I'm all that other stuff, right? So on the train, I'm just like, this nigga might cause some shit with Nesku, but he was cool with it. But yeah, the ending, I like if it ended when they defeated the demon on the train, I would have been like, it was a decent movie. You know, it was decent.
Yeah.
But that fucking moon showed up at the end. I was like, oh shit. Maybe he gonna throw a threat and disappear. Nah. And I watched the bootleg. I had COVID and I'm laid up sick. I'm watching the bootleg. I sat up, bro. I was sweating watching this thing, bro. I had a fever. I'm just like, don't do my boy. Like, he was taking L's. He just kept coming back. Man was taking L's. I'm just like, bro, don't lose. Don't lose. And he was like, well, I'm going to give it all. I'm going all out. That motherfucker boosted, cut it, turned the sword upwards. I'm just like, got his ass.
Nope.
Did not get his ass. And he had a whole arm in his ass. But then he was still a G, though. He was like, I'm going to hold your ass here when the sun come up. You ain't going nowhere. I was like, this the motherfucking G. This is my G. And he just cut his arm and bounced. And yo, Tanjiro was chasing his ass and threw that sword. I was like, get his bitch ass running away and shit. Bro, I was sweating with a fever, crying. And shit. Like, the real tears came like when Rengoku was just like, yo, chill, man. I did my job. Y'all still alive. This is what it's all about, you know? And them dudes was crying. In Inosuke, when Inosuke started crying, I was like, "Oh, gee, the tough dude, the tears coming out of his, oh god, he was The cry he was doing, that was me.
That's why when you just got beat by your parents and you're trying to eat the cereal with the milk,
sniffling.
What do you guys? What's y'all responses to people that are just like, it's a subpar story, subpar character development with just beautiful animation? What's y'all response to shit like that?
You go.
They're lying. They didn't watch it.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm like, I can't make you understand it. So
they're lying.
It's not a very intricate story, but it's a story you can follow and get with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not very there's not a lot of twists, turns, but it's one you can get behind, and you can be like, you know what, I'm here. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of see what they're saying, but then at the same time, it's like still it's good. It's still good.
Capping.
I just don't understand how they say it was predictable.
Look,
I couldn't predict it when I first started watching it. So
no,
I don't understand what they mean either.
Yeah, like I didn't expect it. Head Demon number 1 was going to appear in episode 7.
True.
Nobody expected Michael Jackson to show up.
Who predicted that? Who predicted the Mugen Train? If you haven't read the manga, there's no way. I can't see how somebody is sitting here saying, "Oh, that's predictable." Like, where have you ever seen that done before?
Where
people just
Michael Jackson came up and said, "I'm here."
He was catching bodies out the gate, like, come on.
One thing,
I'm having people with his hand, like,
hey, bro, when he showed up, I heard Smooth Criminal right out the gate.
Doom, 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 doom. I was hoping he would lean for us real quick. Doom,
This is
doom,
when it
doom,
comes to those
doom.
people, when it comes to those people who are saying it's predictable. The question that I want to ask them is, what's predictable? Tell me what you are predicting, because I didn't predict that dude was going to show up. I didn't predict that. Like, what's predictable to me is that Tanjiro would have actually cut that demon's head off.
Yeah,
And would have
exactly.
mastered that technique, and then he actually killed him. That to me is then predictable, but he didn't. So you're going to tell me that you predicted that he wouldn't have won, because that's a false statement. I didn't predict that Rengoku was going to die. I didn't think he would. I thought maybe he was going to get severely injured and then maybe not be able to like be a Hashira anymore.
Facts.
But still be able to kill that demon, and that's it. But look what happened. And the demon got away. The other predictability you can say is that the demon would have died by Tanjiro then, because then Tanjiro would have been able to stop him, and then the sun would have burned him up.
Right.
That didn't happen. The demon got away. So the demon not only killed a Hashira, but then got away. You tell me you predicted that? That's where I get really confused. And then here's my other thing. Like, on that episode when Tanjiro and his sister like teamed up and she finally started showing, you're telling me you predicted that she was going to actually show powers and speak? Like, you're going to finally hear her voice. Like, for the first time, and like with her being a demon, you predicted that. You predicted all, and I don't know. That's the question I want to ask people. Like, what are you predicting? What are you saying is predictable? Because none of this shit's predictable, because it's always keeping me on the edge of my
Writing's
seat.
on the wall for some of it.
I think
you know
another
what I'm
thing
saying?
too that kind of made it interesting for me was, I don't know, you guys may not agree,
Just
but
saying.
the source of the Demon Slayer's power, like breathing, is a little
You
more
need some more
unique
hats,
than
bro?
I think anything else. Huh?
I was talking about Deontay. You need some more hats, bro?
Yeah.
For the level
Cap,
cap.
man.
Hold on, Click has a point. You said the source of the.
The source of the power, like they're talking about predictability. So most shonen animes have some sort of like, either so it's not like ki like Dragon Ball Z, it's not like jutsu like Naruto, anything like that. The source of the Demon Slayer's power is like breathing, which was something at least unique for me, something that I didn't necessarily see coming. So like, how do you even like at least not be intrigued by that? You know, they can achieve at least the level of Hashira power just by focusing on
the different
their
levels,
intake of oxygen.
techniques,
What?
all the different things, man. Because it's like technique one or form one, form this, like the different. You're just like, bro, I this is all new to me. Like, they got to go to
Tanjiro's
somebody
got that way. He wasn't inherently gifted. He may be. I haven't read it far, but he taught himself and he learned it. You know what I mean? So it's just different. I don't understand how people can turn it down.
And that's
And
another.
Tanjiro's just a good character too. I mean, I'm gonna go a little off kilter here, but he's just a good dude. Like, despite everything he's been through, like he's just a good. He makes you feel bad for the demons he's about.
They be on his neck. They be on his neck when he be crying over the demons, though. Them memes are hilarious.
I have no mercy for them demons, bro.
He got no mercy, but he'll make you feel bad at least.
I mean, in a sense, though, because it's interesting. It's like, okay, it's okay for me to kill these demons, but my sister's a demon, and I wish a nigga would.
Yeah, he also
like what makes them any,
two other demons too. The chick and the guy. It's like two demons that he meets that he kind of like becomes friends with too. I can't remember.
The doctor lady and
right. Yeah.
So like he's kind of like a catalyst between them.
They got the same goal. They want the head demon out of there. You know what I'm saying? And if you get far enough into the manga, you'll see how serious she is about getting rid of old boy.
Yeah.
But my last question before we move to the next topic. Rumors that this, when it's all said and done, will be in the Hall of Fame of anime. What y'all thinking?
I agree.
Especially due to the fact that this is like the most Game of Thrones anime. Well, besides Attack on Titan, this is one of the most Game of Thrones animes I've ever watched.
Like, what are we talking? Top 3?
Well, I'll say for this generation, it'll be big 3. Yeah, I'd say it'd be big 3 for this generation because of the ending alone. Once it hits anime, like that whole arc. I don't even know if I should reveal the name of that arc.
Yeah,
to avoid spoiling it for y'all, but like so many people that you would not expect die.
Yeah,
the motherfuckers get off.
I think another thing too, it doesn't really have like a happy ending either. So like it's
no happy.
It's gonna fit the theme. I think it's gonna be great. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think
all them years.
Yeah, it's not necessarily happy, which I think it would be fine.
of the original top three, like I think Bleach is the low hanging fruit and what people assume is the top three.
Facts.
So that would be the one because like My Hero's up there. People are saying that could be in competition for that. I'm only on episode like 60 something of One Piece. I haven't watched it all, but I never hear nothing bad about it. So I think that is established. I think Naruto with both that and Shippuden, that's established in there.
Yeah.
So like Bleach would be the one that'd fall off, and like between My Hero and Demon Slayer, I fucks with Demon Slayer hard.
Y'all forgetting JJK, bro.
Oh, you talking about like the overall,
tripping,
like maybe like potential that Demon Slayer surpasses Bleach?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I put my money on Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I agree with everything. Will
Bleach's heyday was in the first few seasons, and then I don't really know. They added too many fillers, in my opinion. So.
Well, because of the manga alone, it probably won't make it. But the anime is really tough contender. But competition out there is even tougher.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bleach. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, here's my question, because with that Anime Hall of Fame, and I just kind of looked up the Anime Hall of Fame right now, and like what's in there, is it looks like they also include movies.
Oh, really? Well,
if you include anime movies into the Anime Hall of Fame, then it's an even tougher like competition to kind of meet up there, because some like movies they got on there is like everything directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Like it's really hard to beat again. Like obviously the one anime that's like right there all the way at the top, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like that's one of those animes, like no matter what you do, you gotta really come up with some like unique shit. You gotta really come up with some unique anime that has an even better storyline than Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to beat that one. But to have Demon Slayer beat, like if you include the movies and like anime that's been going since the 70s, 80s, and into today. I don't know. That's tough, just because I like Demon Slayer a lot. I think it's a great show. I think the animation is amazing and everything. But my opinion is, I don't think, like, if I had to give a top 5, I would not put Demon Slayer in the top 5 of overall like anime. I think it would even cut it close. Like, I don't even know if I put it in top 10 if I put overall, honestly, overall, just because like there's the amount of anime and movies, when you put everything in there and when you include all that. Well, if you want to go back like in the past 10 years, okay, that's a little bit different. That's fine. It's like one thing that I forget who was saying it, was talking about like this generation of anime. Sure, that we're talking about something completely different, but we're talking about the overall like Hall of Fame of anime movies. I don't know, especially like it doesn't look like it includes like the manga. So we know that manga's better than anime, because anime tends, especially United States and America, they like to put all of new things and spins with some fillers and shit they like to throw in there. Depending. They don't do it as much now, but other animes they did. Sailor Moon's one of them. But sorry, he's bringing me a ball. He wants me to play fetch. Wow. So anyways, he's just saying he agrees with me, right? Like it just I don't know. Like it is great animation style. If you want to burst it on animation style, yeah, sure, put it in the top 10 for that. But overall, if we're including movies, I don't know. I will have to side on the other end and be like, I don't even think top 10 for that, just because the amount of anime and movies that are out there, especially with Hayao Miyazaki being a huge influence.
Goat. Being a goat.
Hey man, I'm sitting here wondering when you're gonna take them caps off, Deontay. Like,
I think time will tell.
Chilling, bro.
Gotta wait and see.
When people stop capping.
I think we're done capping.
No, I agree with Clipmaster. Time will tell.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's hard to say, especially since there's just so many others out there that we've grown to love and watch and whatnot. I feel like the anime are getting a little shorter now. They're ending pretty quickly. So like as far as I feel like if they could, and this might be biased, but I feel like if they could keep the story going,
Yeah.
as much as these other anime that have for years upon years upon years with hundreds of episodes, keeping everybody coming back, I think then it could be a contender. But just for what it is in this compact little, just power punch of an anime. I mean, amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it can compete.
And I think for that, man, you'd have to look at One Piece and how they did it. You know what I'm saying? They did theirs well. Like they gave you a world right off back, a huge world right off back, and they built off of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they have so many episodes because you have this huge world that you have to explore. They give you this agenda of a sort of a treasure or whatever, the main objective that's hidden within this huge world. So now the possibilities are endless. But with Demon Slayer, you're just okay. You have this head demon. You just got to find him, kill him. Not that hard. Not really.
Well, they have to get
Just
his blood.
down with his head demons. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to track him down. And so once you do that, then you don't have as much steam to build. You know what I'm saying? So if shows can take that One Piece formula and do it like they're doing it now, you know what I'm saying? Do the world building and all that stuff. I say, yeah, they have a shot at having a longer running anime, but nowadays people aren't. I don't know. They're not doing the whole world building formula. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Giving you a quick objective, sort of like just yeah. That's what I think.
I agree. It's good.
Oh, you.
Mac, you're muted.
Yeah. All good points. All good points. But let's move to the next topic, and that is next month, or actually, yeah, next month, Marvel is releasing the What If series. I know Straw Hat Poppy, Dante was looking forward to this, man. Tell me what you think. I mean, they released the trailer. You excited or not? Because Loki was dope. They following up with What If. What you think, man?
Dude, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Chadwick Boseman. So I got to put my cup up for Chadwick.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
To the Black Panther, King T'Challa.
Wakanda.
Yes, sir.
Forever.
I believe it. I'm not sure if it was a rumor or not, but this was his last role for Marvel, and he's voice acting T'Challa again for What If. But
oh wow, I know that.
I think that's his voice. That's T'Challa.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just like, man, this is gonna be the last time we get to hear his voice on behalf of the MCU.
Yep.
So it's really gonna mean a lot to us as fans. So like August 11th, we gotta be there. We can't miss this. Like so many episodes of different scenarios that could have happened in the MCU, and it's basically like What If, literally. And I love it. I love it. It shows in the trailer Tony Stark right there. Same scene from Iron Man, the very first Iron Man, except Killmonger. He shows up and grabs the Stark Industry bomb and tosses it. They walk off together to become friends, and there's no telling where that goes next.
Yeah.
But I've been told like there's a lot of possibilities, and all of it is going to lead to something canon.
That's what I was assuming.
Yeah, this series is going to end with something that's going to like build up for Multiverse of Madness. That's the next Doctor Strange movie, so we're going to get something canon for that. And I'm really impressed by like the fact that they made this an animated version and they got like all of the top tier actors to come back and do the voices and whatnot. A lot of guys' contracts ended, so What If had have been in production like way before this year, because Endgame came out 2018, 2019?
2019.
2019.
2019.
golly, so all the contracts have ended, but the actors are still around. Uh, Benedict Cumberbatch is still reprising Doctor Strange. Uh,
All right,
Paul.
y'all. I gotta roll. I'm sorry to cut you off, Lifter. I gotta dip out.
Oh, hey,
Peace out.
appreciate you for being here, bro.
Of course, man. Of course. It was great to be a part of it.
All right, much love, man.
Much
Much
love to
love,
y'all
bro.
too.
All right.
I'll see y'all.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Paul Rudd came out, and he's Ant-Man still, no replacement, so that's perfect. They're already like miles ahead of DC because they're always trying to find replacements for their heroes. Uh, Elizabeth Olsen is still Scarlet Witch, so everybody's still doing their thing for the MCU for a while. It makes you feel like these guys permanently fit in that role, but they don't need a replacement. So the fact that MCU announced that they're not going to replace T'Challa, that was money. Like we can't see nobody else beside Chadwick playing that role. And so once the next Black Panther 2 comes out, like it's just going to be a completely different Panther, and everybody just going to memorialize Chadwick Boseman, and T'Challa, and then we pretty much have like tons of theories to go off of that.
What you think, Kid Big?
I think it's I'm just gonna take it for what it is. To be honest, not necessarily that I think it's gonna be bad or anything, but more or less of what if is a big question, and with what we've seen thus far, there seems to be an infinite amount of possibilities. Yeah. They brought up so many different things, and I'm just like, whoa, this is a lot. And then even just watching that trailer, who are you? Captain Carter. Like, oh, wow. Okay. Like, how did we get here? What if? Like, I just, it's just so interesting to me. It is very intriguing. I'm going to just take it, like I said, I'm going to just take it how it is. I know Deontay let us know that it's actually things that are happening simultaneously in other time streams and multiverses, if you will. So it's not that it hasn't happened or it's not happening. Oh, and that it intertwines into Doctor Strange, the one coming up. But I'm gonna take it for what it is. If they mesh all of that in one movie, I'm not sure how they'll do it, but I'm quite sure they're gonna do it well. It seems like a good idea. And if they can actually tie it all in and streamline it with the current, I guess, flow, even better. I've actually been on this binge watching every single Marvel movie in chronological order, of the timeline, not of release order, like of the timeline. Like when I watched Civil War and then I rewatched Black Widow, I was like, this makes so much more sense. And I love the way they pieced this together. Like it almost like they already made it after they made Civil War and they just tucked it in the back and said, we'll just release this some other time. Like it was that seamless. It was just like, I don't know. These guys know what they're doing. Honestly, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. They're doing it very well. And I'd say, you know what? Whatever it is they want to release, keep on releasing it. I'm going to keep on watching it.
That's facts.
Okay. Where you at, Bill? How you feel about it?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you could play that clip over again, but there are like a lot of things that I picked out in it that I know that some other reviewers and other people picked out in it. Like it ties in. Okay, so Scarlet Witch and Loki all ties into the what if storyline. It's not a uh it's not exactly a what if, but this is actually happening in the timeline. Like at the end of Loki, when you seen all the timelines branch off and all of that, and then the universe that Kang was in, how there were these like little glass shards floating around, and then you seen it in the trailer of What If, but in these glass shards they had like universes of what's happening out there. Um, this is all happening off of everything that came off of Loki. You know what I'm saying? So and then they have a poster of all of the characters that's going to be on there, but they're actually called the Multiverse Avengers. So they're going to be going through the universe, multiple universes, and collecting other people to be on this Multiverse Avengers team to try and put the timeline back. I don't know. I guess put the timeline back straight is what I hear. Um,
Get the sacred timeline going again.
yeah, yeah. And so, and these are all from comics also that they have a line of comics called the What Ifs. Like they have What If Spider-Man, Hulk, uh, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and all of that. So they're not. This isn't just random. This is all things that you will need to know going into um, the Phase 4 movies. You actually have to know all of this. And the thing that sets off the Nexus event here is when Tony's attacked and um, Killmonger shows up, grabs the grenade and throws it. You know that wasn't really supposed to happen, but it sets off the Nexus event for that universe.
Watch
So,
what happens in the first Iron Man. That scene was exactly on point. It was like
yeah,
even the end. It was exactly the way it was in the first Iron Man
and
without Killmonger.
I also like the way I'm understanding. Like Doctor Strange is he's going kind of rogue, I guess. In this, and I don't know, Shuma Gorath. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but he's part of a race called the Many Angled Ones. And if, like, let's say Shuma Gorath came to Earth, okay, if he came to Earth, he would make Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet look like a baby. He would baby shake Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, it wouldn't even be a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, like, later on in this trailer, you'll see all those tentacles. That right there is like an avatar of Shumagorath. But it I don't know. This is what everything that's supposed to be happening in this What If multiverse. And the giant figure there is actually the Watcher.
The
So
Watcher.
he's watching all of this happen. He can't interfere with it. He can't do nothing about it. But he's there to keep track of history or whatever. So, but I think it's going. Hey, dude, man, I'm all here for it. I'm here for it. And after the What If uh whole storyline gets tied up and everything, they can go so many other places with this, and like make Marvel fans dream come true, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
All
what
right, Jackie, what you think?
So when it comes to Marvel, I'm a super nerd when it comes to Marvel, but not as much as of a nerd as I wish I could be. Like I never read a lot of the comics prior. I started getting into Marvel when the first Iron Man came out, and then I started reading the things and getting into all of the movies and all that stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, I watched The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, Justice League, Teen Titans, all that stuff, and got into it then. And there was like some comics that I would read at the library, but I never went out and purchased them and really got into the universe as much as I did with anime. However, what I'm super into is what ifs all the time. And it was always with Marvel that even when I was watching Marvel movies or even the shows, I always asked, like, what if this didn't happen? What if someone else did this instead? Of what if someone else came into the play? And like one of the questions or one of the things that gets brought up a lot is all these other characters that are in the Marvel universe that a lot of people who have never read the comics, who've never watched any of the shows growing up, they don't know about a lot of these other characters that actually play a huge part into the Marvel universe. So I think this is going to be a really good thing to start introducing and showing people that there's a lot more to this universe and a lot more characters out there that actually affect other things. Like there's a lot of other side stories, a lot more to the comics that people don't realize, especially like Dr. Doom, as Black was talking about in the comments on Facebook. And Dr. Doom, where was the last time that he was featured on? Wasn't that on freaking?
We don't do that here. We don't talk about that here.
But I'm just saying,
We
like,
don't do that here. We don't talk
but
about
he's never brought up though, ever in any of the Marvel universes. It's never focused around him. When this dude is actually a character that a lot of people who are obsessed with the Marvel universe talk about a lot. That, in my opinion, I feel like he's downplayed a lot. He's not made an important character enough that I think he should be made a part of, which I think this is a good opportunity to introduce him into the what ifs. And what I'm more excited about is how is this all going to play out in the end with like what you were talking about, Will, when it comes to like Loki and all of the Nexus events that were happening. How will this all eventually play out at the end to where we got to where we are at right now, which was Avengers, Infinity Wars, and then also Endgame. Like, how did all of that come to where it was? If that's how it's supposed to play out with Nexus events, if that's how what happens, how did we eventually get back to the timeline that we're at right now? What would be really cool is like, what would the timeline, and kind of like we were talking about with the Infinity Stone and all that, what would the timeline look like instead? You know, what would have Avengers Endgame looked like? What would have Infinity, like all of the things, what would that have looked like differently? So there's like this thing on, not Instagram, on Snapchat that I follow. It's a subscription that I subscribe to that's all up on Snapchat, and it says what if on it. And it's always, what if this happened? And the one I just recently watched was, what if Jupiter veered off course and started swallowing all of the planets? And it's just like 10, 15 minutes long. And it's actually, it's really interesting. It's a lot of what ifs. Usually, if you have a Snapchat, I'm not sponsored, but I'm just saying, if you have a Snapchat, okay, hey, Snapchat, if you're watching, I'm sponsoring you. Not really, I'm not getting paid, but go follow that what if. It's really interesting. But the what ifs is, I'm super interested in that, to see, like, especially with what the world in general with Marvel and even anime, what they're trying to do. And Hayao Miyazaki had an interview about this, about how most of his characters are female based, with the fact that the female character, the what if she's the one that became Captain America instead. That was in one of the trailers. I think it's going to bring in a lot of female audiences too, to watch this, like, what if instead of it being Captain America, it being predominantly male, which I think some things, and not conspiracies, but rumors and things going around, is you got some people out there who don't, of course it's America and a male that represents it. Like, there's that, which fine. I get how some people feel when it comes to female empowerment, all that stuff, but I think that it will bring in that female audience to be like, yeah, what if instead of Captain America being a male, it was a female? So it's gonna be interesting. I don't know how it's gonna tie into all the things. The comic's been going on since I think it said 2018. So I don't know. I never read the comic before, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. I can't wait to see how it plays into, if it is part of Nexus events, how it plays into that.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, off rip, bro, for the culture, I gotta watch it because, as you know, that's Chadwick's last representation of T'Challa.
Thanks.
So to hear his voice as the Black Panther and T'Challa again, I'm probably going Thug Tears. You know what I'm saying? Thug Tears will probably fall a little bit. But I'm with Tim. Yo, Marvel has been batting 1,000 lately, bro. They had a couple hiccups with Captain Marvel and Black Widow, not because they were female led, but because how they just rushed to introduce Captain Marvel. I feel like if that was like real, like if they released these movies chronologically, like you're supposed to watch them, it'd probably be 10 times better. But I watched them all when I got Disney Plus. I watched them all chronologically, and it made the movies that much better, even though I've already seen them all. But
Right.
I applaud Marvel for running with what if. Like, let's throw some fan theories out there. And explore them and have whole stories that are tied with them. I think it's dope. The first scene where Tony's about to get lit up and Killmonger shows up and does some G shit and just hurls that bomb like that. Like, I'm hooked already, bro. Like, the minute this shit happens, I'm like, bro, talk to me about this. Talk to me about this shit, you know?
Definitely.
And I feel like that is something that easily DC could do as well. And I don't think nobody would look at them like, oh, they're copying Marvel, because I will sit down and watch that shit too, bro.
DC
Everything that Marvel is
doing,
doing, if DC just did what Marvel is doing, but with their characters, bro, they would have me in the theater too, just as much as Marvel does. But they trying to be different, so that they'll figure it out, hopefully. But
fingers crossed.
If this is its own standalone thing and doesn't play into the next phase of Marvel movies, I'm cool with it. You know, as long as you tell a good story. The animation looks dope. The part with Yondu and T'Challa at the end, that last clip when he whistles and that fucking spear takes all them cats out. Like, bro, I'm here. I'm here for all that shit, Marvel. Bring that shit here, boy. Bring that shit here. But like Will was saying, you're introducing a lot of powerful characters in this. If it is a standalone, you're introducing a lot, like the Watcher. You're introducing a lot of things that I just don't want in this series and not explain later on. Like you were alluding to about Doctor Doom. Like, everybody know this motherfucker is a problem. I would like to see that problem in the MCU. Now that they have rights to all that shit, I would love to see that. I would love to see a Wolverine story done right if they ever get around to trying to reboot X-Men.
Logan was done right. I rocked with that one.
Yes, but leading up to that, like what
trash. Yeah, no, I got you.
What the Wolverine was, I was expecting so much from the Wolverine.
Facts.
And I was so let down, bro. I'm just like, bro, take this PG-13 thing off and let this man be Wolverine. And that's what Logan did. That's why Logan was up. Everybody's like, Logan is, and some people I know in their top 5 superhero movies. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was that powerful. You know, it was that moving. And if they want to just pick up where Logan left off and pick up with old girl running his what is she, X-24? Is that what she is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it from there. I'm here for it. Because Marvel, like I said, they have the track record now where they can do some shit, and I'm gonna be like, I fucks with you, Marvel, until they let me down, you know, multiple times. But I see nothing wrong with the Disney Plus using these series to kind of buffer the time between movies and explain some shit in between movies. Yep. So when you sit down and watch a movie, you're not, what the fuck is this shit? You know, so I think if they had that going before, Captain Marvel probably would have been a series and not a movie. And then she would have showed up in the game and you would have been like,
it would have been better, a lot better.
Black Widow probably could have been a series if you want to be real about it, but they already had the movie done.
They probably should have made Black Widow a series instead of a movie.
I'm telling you, bro.
They had the movie done. You know they had the movie done. That's the only reason, because the way WandaVision rolled out, Captain or Falcon Winter Soldier, you know, if they didn't already have the movie already in production or post-production or whatever, they would have been like, let's do a series, you know? Because now they in some trouble, like Scarlett Johansson and some other cats trying to sue Disney and Marvel for releasing the shit on Disney Plus and in the theaters, and it's not really making as much as they thought it would or some shit. I didn't read the whole case or whatever they're trying to do, but I mean, now that they have this medium to release and tell stories through series, periodic, you know, episodic storytelling, just like Netflix has picked up on how to tell stories through episodes instead of just throwing a fucking movie out there. I think it's going to be dope. I think coming off of Loki, this is probably the next best thing. And then next month you got Shang-Chi showing up, which is what we're going to talk about in a little bit. But that's how I feel about What If, man.
Yeah, the other thing that I like that Marvel did is I think that when we, you know, looking back as like a kid or even now when I read like manga, whenever you read it and you see all of the art and everything, you're trying to imagine it as that animation and it being what it is. You're trying to go through the scenes. And I liked that the animation that Marvel put out in this trailer, it's like they took the colored comic and then that's what they used as the animation, buffed it up a bit, but it still looks like comic-wise.
Like Incredible.
I was like, I really like how they just decided to do that instead of either making it live, like real, you know, with people, or they tried to make it more, if you look back on when you used to watch all of like the Amazing Spider-Man on Cartoon Network or something like that, where it was more cartoonized, with the lack of better terms. The other thing too is that Marvel's doing right is one thing you were talking about, Willie, is and no other movies or other platforms or anyone ever does this, but fans come up with theories all the time. And no one ever takes those theories and says, hey, why don't we just like create a spinoff or something based off this really great theory these people are having? Because you know that these nerds are on here on Reddit reading this stuff or the comments or anything. They're seeing some of the stuff. And some of the theories that some people like come up with are genuinely really interesting. And the fact that Marvel is taking that and deciding to go, you know what? All right, fine. We're going to take some of these theories and go, what if with it? I think is amazing. Because now it's kind of what you were talking, I forget who said it, that it's appealing more to the fans of bringing their theories to life and saying like, okay, let's take your theory and see what would happen if this happened this way. Which I think, you know, no one ever does that. No one's ever done that before, taken a fan's theory and actually ran with it and said, you know what, let's just do it for shiggles and see what happens.
And with the multiverse, that gives you all the more reason to do it. It's just like anything goes in this universe because it's millions and billions and trillions of them. So you can have whatever you want to happen in this specific universe. Yeah, like DC's kind of the same way. It's just like, well, we have Earth 1 where Earth Prime, and then everything that we know about DC happens in Earth Prime, and then we have like Earth 270, Earth 2, Earth 640. You can do anything you want with that. So you can come up with a theory as a fan, submit it to DC, and DC will say, all right, since it's non-canon, we'll just make it Universe 967. And it's awesome. Like that just gives you so many opportunities to just tell the story the way you want to tell it. And the fact that Marvel kept the faces of the actors that played them. So it's not like the comic book T'Challa. It's actually Chadwick T'Challa. And his face is the cartoon now. It's really dope. And it's just like, what if, no matter what universe it's in, like, if there's going to be a Chadwick T'Challa, that's the face that they want. Like, there is scenarios where, like, Loki isn't always Tom Hiddleston. It's always... You got the crocodile Loki and all those different variants of them, but other than that, like all of these different theories about what Loki could have been in this universe is awesome. It could have been like the author's idea or the fan's idea. Like you never know. And I think that's the best part about having a multiverse in like a comic book company.
So real quick before we move to the next topic, so I know was it last year they were talking about after Chadwick's untimely passing, what are they going to do with Black Panther? And then I think I don't know if it's been official, but Zuri is taking the title of Black Panther moving forward. What do y'all think of that? Do you think they should have recast Chadwick or keep it with the cast and give it to Zuri or what's up?
Shuri worked for me. She's supposed to be Ironheart at some point, but
yeah,
I rock with her taking the Black Panther mantle for now, at least to keep the I guess that it's supposed to be a trilogy of Black Panther movies. So the next two movies, it should at least be Shuri for that.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's some storylines where it does work. Yeah, I think she'll work as the next Black Panther, but I don't think she'll stay the next Black Panther because along the way there was others like Killmonger. I don't know how they would do that. But I think they'll bring him back somehow. But he was actually the king of Wakanda in one of those storylines, and he became the next Black Panther. And so I don't know. I will say this, like before the other two go. What I was really excited for in this trailer was the Marvel zombies. Like, and I don't know if anybody else was excited as I was because there's a whole comics on Marvel zombies going crazy and killing the whole Marvel universe, and they're trying to stop these superpowered zombies. And I'm like, yes, like that's what I'm gonna be there for, bruh. Like, yeah. So, anyways, anybody else want to answer Mac's question?
KB.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's all right. To be honest, I didn't think it was nothing crazy or anything like that. I just know her as the tech person. She's the techie, So, I just felt like she should stay there. I guess
Right.
Like she was the one that the Black Panther was relying on in a sense. I need some the hottest, newest. Right? Yeah, I need the hottest and the newest. And she was like, "Oh, I got you." Plug off rip.
Off rip.
Now,
I like that.
Now, Batman. She is to Black Panther is what Oracle was to Batman, and that was solid though.
Yeah, and I mean recasting. It'd be hard, honestly.
Would have liked to see Baku become Black Panther or some shit. They just fixed that shit.
Baku
was my
That's
dude.
acceptable.
Dog. That was literally what I swear that was exactly what I was about to say. I was like, yo, get homie from the mountain that fought him the first time.
The gorilla.
Like, yeah, get homie. Like, why can't M'Baku be the next Black? I felt like that would be appropriate. You know, especially for how the original Black Panther movie went. He actually ended up helping him out. Yeah, he doesn't too much care for the science being led by a little girl or, just, Ulysses and them letting him get away for how long they did. Like, he doesn't care too much for that. But at the end of the day, he's for the people, always for the people. And he's real. He's real about it. Like, I felt like it would have been dope. He would have been I don't know. I honestly felt like that would have been the player move to make. Right. That's just to me.
That would have been smooth. That would have been hella smooth.
I ain't mad at the decision, but I was sitting back like it's M'Baku's time because they offered him the berry or the flower, and he was like, "Nah, that ain't me." But now that he's gone, I mean, it's like, what better time, Winston? Winston Duke, get in there, man. Get this Marvel money.
At some point in the comic books, like the gorilla, he was king of Wakanda. And I think Killmonger was king of Wakanda too at some point too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it's like, man, you could do whatever you want with the multiverse.
And that's something that I rock with Marvel a lot with. They even took two movies that we've already all seen and watched, and it ended up being incorporated into the timeline.
Right.
They're bringing both previous Spider-Mans into the new Spider. It's like, wow. So now my mind is like, oh, so all these previous Spider-Mans aren't standalone. They're just alternate multiverse versions of Spider-Man.
And you know,
Like
Spider
these guys
Man.
are just so clever with it. Like, like they could do no wrong at this point.
Yeah, you know, Spider Man had a multiverse before Marvel did. That motherfucker. Madam Web, she was the plug on that shit. Like you had so many different Spider-Mans that already existed before everybody else had a multiverse version of them. It's like, damn, man, like they should have started with Spider-Man first and then went from there. Cause he got Spider-Man 2049. No, it's 2099. And we should have seen him at some point. But I guess we're going with Andy Garfield and Tobey Maguire right now. But I think they're going to come back around and do a multiverse Spider-Man. That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They got Spider-Man Noir and they got Spider-Man. It's two other variants of him. I can't remember off the top of the head, but like he had his own multiverse before everyone else did. So like when Doctor Strange got introduced, it just made it even more juicier. Like you can really undo if you screw up the Spider-Man story, you can undo that screw up with like a Doctor Strange multiverse mishap.
Yep.
So it's I look forward to seeing all these movies just because of that.
Keeping with Marvel, we got Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, coming out, I think, early September. How we feel about this one, man? I already told you, I know we hinted towards it in previous episodes, but I'm excited based on the fight scenes and whatnot, because Marvel tried to give us a Kung Fu dude with Iron Fist on Netflix, and that shit just wasn't it for me. But now we got some hitters in this one. So Will, what you thinking about Shang-Chi and what you've seen so far, what you've been hearing about it?
Dude, oh yeah. Actually, yeah, man. I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty good, man. And there I don't know if they got the license from what was it, Universal for the Abomination or whatever, but that's clearly who we seen at the end of the trailer in the ring fighting him. Um, and then also there's rumor of there's a dragon in the trailer that I don't know, they end up showing. I don't know if it's on this trailer or not. And some people saying it's the was it the Great One or something like that. But there's a whole big fan base that's like, yeah, man, that is you cannot mistake in this dragon for any other dragon than Fin Fang Foom. And that guy is a really huge deal. He's a big deal. He's a villain, and uh, actually, the rings that old dude has was brought down from Fin Fang Foom is like from an alien race, and I guess whenever he was there, some sorcerer supreme had locked him away or whatever, and those rings were actually with him, and they give you certain powers, like, you know what I'm saying. So I don't, and I don't really know who's the big bad outside of um uh Shang-Chi's father or whatever, the Mandarin. But if it's true that the dragon that's in the trailer is Fin Fang Foom, then yeah, man, they got a whole nother problem on their hand.
Huge problem.
Huge problem, bro.
Whew, man.
So I think it's, I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be interesting, and this is definitely going to work. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it works. You know.
What
So
about you,
that's
Dante?
I was piggyback off Emperor when he was talking about like the possible introduction of Fin Fang Foom. Because growing up as a kid, like watching the Iron Man animated series, which is like damn near older than me, and fucking, I've seen Fin Fang Foom be a huge. Fin Fang Foom and Ultron were like Tony Stark's biggest problems in the cartoon series. Well, Mandarin too, but
yeah,
it's like Fin Fang Foom, like the couple episodes that he was in alone, like Iron Man him, Iron Man had to handle that shit himself, and it was a long problem to deal with. So the fact that Marvel, I'm not sure if Marvel's going to bring him in for long term or short term, but if he's long term, then I can expect different like routes for as far as solutions go to deal with him. And we already have Kang the Conqueror, so and that was also another problem for Tony Stark and Hank Pym. So these are like different like heads ups to Robert Downey Jr. possibly getting his role back. So it's like with the multiverse happening and all that, we can either get a completely different Tony Stark, or we can get the OG Tony Stark back. And with Fin Fang Foom and Kang the Conqueror, like I don't see Robert Downey Jr. going anywhere. He's going to be back in the MCU. Kevin Feige did his best to try to keep Chris Evans and Tony Stark out of the MCU, from what I heard, because their contracts ended with Endgame. But
yeah, that's gonna
the
be.
way that these storylines set up, it's like if we don't see Chris Evans again, we will see Robert Downey Jr. again, because he like Tony Stark. I don't really see anybody else playing Tony Stark as well as he could. Like it's just like Hugh Jackman with Wolverine, T'Challa, or Chadwick Boseman with T'Challa. It's just like who could be a better Tony Stark than Robert the RDJ. So so he's probably going to get resurrected sometime soon and help out and fight against him, because even as OP as the heroes that we have now that's still alive, like you're going to need Tony Stark's brain just to compete with Kang. And
Yeah.
Fang Foom too. You got to need Tony Stark's brain to handle him too.
Yeah, definitely.
Shang-Chi opens the door for a lot. Also, I want to mention that like the fact that Abomination is here. I'm not sure if the same dude that played him from the Edward Norton movies is going to be him again, but he's one of my favorite Hulk villains. Period.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of sad like Hulk doesn't have his own movies where we can see him face off against Abomination
Oh man,
again.
dude, I love Hulk villains.
Dude, Hulk villains are off the chain, especially Leader. God, I have man, I miss Leader so much, man. Marvel got to do Leader at least once in the MCU. Well, it's that big head motherfucker. It's
Oh yeah,
like,
he a problem.
that's the only reason I'm hanging on to like Edward Norton being the better Bruce Banner than the guy that's currently him right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the current Bruce Banner, but it's just like Edward Norton was opening the doors for a whole lot of shit.
That
And
gritty Bruce Banner, that gritty Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Like
man,
that down and
Marvel
dirty
didn't
Hulk.
want to do nothing with that. Marvel wanted to do nothing with that, bro. That was crazy. Like you introduced Leader and Abomination in the same movie, but then you discontinue the actor that's Bruce Banner at that point and give us a whole nother Bruce Banner. So the fact that Abomination is back in Shang-Chi is just like come on, man. One Hulk spinoff movie or TV show. Come on, like we're getting She-Hulk, but damn, man, like we're getting She-Hulk, but Marvel gotta amp it up, man, because Bruce Banner is that dude. No matter what multiverse it is, and we're going to see different versions of the Hulk one way or another soon.
I want to see World War Hulk.
Nobody wants to see no Will. Boy, everybody's done.
Yeah, everybody's done for then, bro.
You can tell Hulk is one of my.
It's done for.
You can tell Hulk is one of my favorite dudes.
He's killing everybody in the MCU, bro.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this dude is continental level. I'll stomp my foot in North America.
That's a whole world level type dude, man. Like this dude is crazy strong, bro.
Man, come on, man.
Type for Shang-Chi or you just
Hey man, I'm here for it. I'll tell you that. I'm definitely here for it. You know, I don't know much about it, to be 100% honest. I really don't. This is the first time I've actually heard of Shang-Chi. There's been a debate going on of whether it's pronounced Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi.
I have no idea, man.
It is what it is. We know it's coming. I'm going to watch it. I love my martial arts movies. I love my martial arts peoples.
bro.
You know, I'm here all the way for it. I'm ready.
What about you, Jack?
So just like Kid was saying, like I am a super sucker for like Asian kung fu movies. I don't know like what it is, but when they make a really great like Asian kung fu movie, it's amazing. It's really good, and that's what I live for. Personally, I like the older back in the, if you want to say it, old days, the Chinese or the Japanese or whatever type of like Asian culture, that type of movies that's a little bit serious and it talks about their culture and like their Tai Chi or Kung Fu, whatever the case is. I really enjoy movies like that. I think they're really interesting and they're really good. So when I watched this trailer, I was like, okay, this is going to be legit. This is going to be really good. This looks really interesting. It looks, of course, Marvel's going to put in their humor like they always do with it, but it looks genuinely really good based off of the trailer. Now, I didn't know too much about who this character was, so I had to do research. And I learned that he's mostly in the Marvel Universe a standalone character. He's not really a part of a lot of the Marvel until way, way later, when eventually he may or may, like he does become a part of the Avengers series because of Tony Stark. And that's where like what Lifter was talking about before, like how is he going to get recruited if we're going to continue with these movies with Shang-Chi? Because if this movie is really great, obviously there's going to be a second one because Marvel is creating this movie. So how is he going to be relevant to the Avengers then? That's what the audience is going to wonder. Like we're creating this movie based off this dude. How is it relevant to the Marvel universe and the Avengers? And really how it's relevant is that before Tony Stark dies, like he becomes a part of the Avengers. So this is way before Infinity Wars. This is before Endgame. This is way, 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 way earlier on. So it's almost going to be like a flashback, I feel like, of when we're actually going to see Iron Man then communicate with this character to then bring him into the Avengers, which I hope that they do. And I hope that they bring back Robert Downey Jr. to do that specifically for that movie. We'll see. Kind of like what Lifter was talking about, their contracts are done. So I'm hoping that they just bring him in as like a cameo, if that makes sense.
Right.
To like just, hey, one little part, this is all you got to do, or a couple little parts, kind of how he played into with the Spider-Man movies when he kind of helped out with some of those. Like it's not really a huge part that he's playing, but it's a little bit of a part, maybe a little bit even less than what he did in the Spider-Man movies. But it's going to be interesting to see how they incorporate this new character into the Avengers and his importance. And then one thing that Black brought up is about introducing the elders, which focuses more on now when we talk about what's his face? Jesus, why Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. So now how does that going to incorporate that? Because obviously we haven't seen enough. We're not ending Doctor Strange like that. That's going to keep going for a minute now. And now how is this going to play into it? Because and I don't know this, but the way that it's talking about like the 10 rings and the way that I feel like it's alluding to is like how that movie and the elders, it really plays into how, if you remember watching Doctor Strange, kind of how he learned the things that he learned was in a different country. It was more like along the lines of like the Asian culture where he learned all of the things that he learned about becoming Doctor Strange. So now I'm interested to see how him and Shang-Chi kind of connect and what that universe and everything connects with. I think it's going to be a good movie. I hope it's a good movie. This is the next movie that Marvel's producing after they came out with Black Widow, which you already know my opinions on Black Widow from the last episode.
Uh-oh.
I love Black Widow. I love Scarlett Johansson, but man.
No. Me and you are here with that, Jackie. It was just like,
not cool.
It was okay.
Really?
That's how I feel about it. I had to do my research. I'm not gonna lie, I had to, because I was like, I actually don't know anything about this character, so I had to do my research. And no wonder why. Like, he literally is a standalone character. The only reason why he became really a part of the Marvel universe because Tony Stark seeked him out because they wanted to build up more Avengers to face against like the future threats that they were going to have.
I'm with Tim. I'm here because I am a martial arts movie fanatic. And you got this martial arts. You cast individuals who can actually do martial arts. I'm in. And then you throw in the Marvel flair too. I'm in. So, I mean, this shit is about to be, I feel a dope movie. It's going to make some money. I don't know if it's going to be up there with like in-game type stuff, but it's going to be, I think this movie's going to be popular enough where Marvel will probably think about, if they already don't have a sequel or he's not going to be a future player in future movies, they're probably going to give this man a series or something. Cause I feel like this is going to be something nice, man. The trailers got me hooked. The fact that Abomination showed up, I thought Marvel gave up on all Hulk related stuff. Cause Ragnarok came out. I thought this was going to be low key half and half or half World War Hulk. And it wasn't, so I was just like, maybe they're trying to get, write the Hulk off or whatnot, but Abomination's in it. So, I mean, obviously you still in that universe where Ed Norton was Dr. Banner, but, they gave it to Mark Ruffalo, however you say his last name. But I'm excited. I thought it was coming out August. I don't know if they push it to September, but September ain't done but right around the corner. And what if will tie me down until Shang-Chi comes out.
Coming out September 3rd, 2021.
September 3rd.
So I'm here for all that shit, man.
Every day weekend, baby.
I am here for it.
Y'all got no excuse why you can't see that. Everybody off work.
Everybody. If you ain't off work, you better make
this
time.
This is one that I will watch in
Everybody.
I am not trying to Disney Plus this. You know what? I was talking to somebody and I was just like, I feel bad because I'm not going to movies to watch DC shit. And that's only because I don't have to pay extra to HBO Max to watch the DC shit. Disney Plus be on that shit to be like, give me an extra $30. You can watch this movie. I'm like,
right. $30,
$30, I might as well hear this in the most surroundest of sounds, bro. With the
right.
all this stuff.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I bought Black Widow from Disney Plus, but that's only because I couldn't make it to the movies. But also,
you really didn't miss out.
The amount of money I would have spent at the movie theater anyway
would have been the same
price.
price.
When I go by myself, as I end up buying food. I really do. I might not buy the drinks, but I at least buy food, and that's $15 right there. So $15 on top of the $12, even with military discount, the $12 I gotta pay for the freaking ticket, essentially I'm like making out good, and guess what? I can sit naked on my couch and watch the fucking movie. So,
Wait, what?
At that point, I'm getting my money's worth.
As long as you're comfortable, do what you need to do to enjoy it.
And then I don't gotta worry about eating no
Now we
movie
know.
theater food. I can make my own damn food.
Let the ding-a-ling swing.
You thinking that I had to? No. I was gonna say something else. I'm not even gonna say it.
BMs.
Okay,
We're getting to our after hours show. We'll talk about the Snapchat I posted earlier.
Oh God, bro. Getting raunchy up in here, huh?
Bro. It now for those listening who have been watching, I know we talk a lot of Marvel shit in here. No shade to DC because they got Suicide Squad coming out later this month in theaters and HBO Max. We kind of talked about that in a previous episode. But, be sure we'll watch that shit. We're gonna come here and tell you what it is. Just know Saturday Night Nerds. If you see we about to talk about a movie that's been released, spoilers will be up in that bitch. So after Suicide Squad, the episode coming up, we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be real shit. So either watch it or this is your warning. We be doing spoilers up in here, so be warned. Anybody else got anything to say before we make a very, very exciting announcement to all the nerds that roll with us, the Grand Fleet, if you will.
Okay.
If you will. Everybody good on Shang-Chi? Everybody good?
The only thing I'm going to say is keep bringing in your folks in. Keep bringing our numbers up. Find your nerds. Find anyone, even if they only like video games, even if they only like Marvel, even if they only like anime, manga, whatever it is. We talk about all the nerd shit. That's what we talk
Nerd
about.
culture.
And anything that you guys want us to talk about, because mostly we talk about anime, video games, and Marvel. If there's anything else you want us to talk about, post it in the freaking Facebook room. We create a little poll, but it's based off topics we think are great. If you think there's a different topic, throw that our way, but continue to bring in the people. I'm not going to lie, we don't really talk about Call of Duty, but bring in the people that have all the knowledge on video games, and that way our goal, hopefully, y'all can knock me down if you don't think that this is a good idea, but I want us to reach 1,000 by the end of the year.
Oh no, I'm behind it. I'm behind it.
So, let's go.
That's 6 months, y'all. 6 months.
Goals up here. You know what I'm saying? You set the goals high. That way,
set the goals high. 1,000 members.
And also,
we got merchandise to sell.
Look, hold on.
Here you go. Here you go. What up?
Man, look.
Go ahead,
get
Willie.
the engagement up, bruh. The amount of people that we got in Saturday Night Nerds, man, and then we have little engagement in the podcast. Come on, y'all.
Come on,
there, man. We'll get there. You gotta understand, man. We up and coming, bro. The numbers will get there. Nobody just start off. Normally, a podcast will start out and they'll have big numbers because that person's already a celebrity or well-known or a social media influencer. We on the come up, bro. We gonna get there, man.
Facts.
We gonna get there. Slow and steady, Will. Slow and steady, man.
Steady wins the race.
Yeah,
but,
organic too. Yeah.
Okay.
Since Straw Hat Poppy already kind of let the cat out the bag, we got the merch.
We got
the merch. Go ahead
and
for y'all.
He could not hold his breath. He couldn't hold it any longer.
Let me bring it up. Let me show you what it is.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
So if you kindly go to teespring.com and search for Saturday Night Nerds, you will find our merch store. And we up in here. And let me scroll through and show you what we have. So we started off with the big three lineup with Naruto, Luffy, and then Ichigo from the what most anime heads will call the OG big three, right? So you scroll down, you see we got shirts, the muscle shirts, the fanny packs, the mugs. We got tank tops. stickers, all that good stuff. You scroll down here, bow. You got Luffy doing the damn thing, right? Saturday Night Nerds in the back, and then you scroll it down, and then you get introduced to my boy Ichigo.
Boy, BOI.
My boy.
Bye.
I put the Star Wars merch up there, but something came up, so I have to reload that up there. But we got Star Wars merch. So what we planning on doing is anime, Star Wars, video games, like whatever is popping, whatever you guys request you want to see, we can try to dabble and make a design for it and put this up here too, because we're trying to represent all cultures of nerdom, comics, anime, science fiction, all that good stuff. As far as science fiction, don't come in here trying to get Tomorrow War shit, because we don't do that.
Hey, better than G.I. Joe Snake Eyes.
Wait, what?
Oh, you saw Snake Eyes?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, hold up. What we got? We got
Thumbs up
15
or
minutes.
thumbs down?
We hit 2 hours.
Thumbs up or
Talk to
thumbs
me
down?
about it real quick, because I haven't seen it yet. I was wanting to
I haven't
see it.
seen it yet.
I'm seeing it Tuesday.
Save your money.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Oh,
my
Absolutely terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, I was
What was the
really.
fight
that's
said
even
what?
better to watch it so we can just talk trash
the
on it
fight
next
like?
fucking
Sure.
podcast.
Oh, the fights were trash.
No.
Some of the choreography was cool. I mean, some of it. The whole like freeway scene was definitely anticlimactic. Also, I feel like it was PG, man. Yeah, I feel like it was PG. I feel like it was made for the kids, and I wasn't expecting that. There really wasn't much, bro. Not much. It was.
Oh,
Yeah, it was pretty trash. It was pretty trash. Yeah, dialogue was terrible. Yo, I was watching a movie when I was done. I was like, have any of these people actually watched a Marvel movie? Maybe even John Wick, like something, because you know it's possible. Like, but you decided to give us this. So yeah, I thought it was terrible, man. I thought it was terrible.
well, thank you. Because I sure was about to plan a evening out with my wife and check, because she's a fan of the dude who plays Snake Eyes, Henry Golding, yeah. So she's a big fan of that dude. So she was amped up to see it. I was amped up because it's ninja shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, of all the G.I. Joe cast members to do an origin story of, and for it to be trash, not Snake Eyes, my G, not my boy, not my boy.
I rock for him too. Trust me. And I was geeked, bro. I was. Huge
Not
letdown.
my boy.
Let's pray and hope that Shang-Chi is or Shang-Chi whatever is better. I pray to God. Pray.
I'm 1,000
right
times
now.
percent.
I need your prayers, your thoughts, all that.
It's guaranteed.
I'm
It's
about to
guaranteed.
cry right
Shang-Chi
now.
is going to be way better.
I'm about to cry, bro.
I'm praying.
That's a
God.
guarantee.
I ain't even seen it yet. 100% guaranteed it's going to be better.
I'm about to cry. I'm about to literally shed a tear right now.
Go ahead and
Live
that shit to
bro.
pop up on Netflix or something.
You're gonna be like that black. You're gonna be like that black cop that's on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, where he starts tearing. He's like, it's almost enough to make a grown man cry, but not this grown man. Get back in there, tear. He sucks it back in.
Bro, you just ended this episode on a downer, kid. What you
I'm
doing,
sorry,
bro?
man.
Dang,
I'm sorry.
man.
But we here to
These
talk.
are episodes.
We here
Hey,
to
just
talk.
look up the reviews, man.
I'm about to drop like $15 to go see it on Tuesday too. So like, fuck.
Hey,
man. Hey, you know what? I might be wrong. You guys might like
You
it.
saved us.
Dude, I'm telling you right
That's
now,
what you
IMDb rated as a
You saved
5.7 out of 10.
Bro, if you right, I'm gonna send you some merch
Yeah.
too.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 38%.
I'm gonna send you some merch too if you.
yeah. Hey, Straw Hat, tell the people what you are planning on doing for some free merch going their way.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is 300 Day. As past Wednesday night, we officially crossed the threshold into 300 members. And even though that is small compared to other Facebook communities, well, by the way, fuck them. We that is a milestone for us, and I'm pretty proud of it. I'm proud of it. This is a Facebook nerd community, and we are in the 300 zone. Me and Emperor never imagined it to ever get this big. Like it was impressive that we hit 100.
Not really, man.
300, bro. And
Yeah.
our goal is to be like 1,000 by the end of the year. Word to Jackie, what?
We can do it.
Like, okay, hey, I gotta apologize.
If she hyping it up, man, I'm behind her. We need all the positive energy we can get.
All the positive energy.
You want my crystal?
I apologize for being short-sighted. I apologize for being short-sighted, but you know what? We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for supporting Saturday Night Nerds because this started out as a bright idea from two niggles, and it started out as a bright idea, and now it turned into this, and that's insane. So to show our appreciation, we have a little shenanigans for y'all tonight. So like we got a couple people in here drinking. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out here. We got a drinking game on the way. And then we also have some trivia questions. So if you have the heart to participate while watching this podcast and you can answer just a couple questions for us correctly, guess what? You get it right, free merch. Or you also have the option
free merch
on the house. Like one of the admins gonna have to buy it for you, which is probably gonna be me. And I'm gonna have to send you the
repeat that again.
He's gonna have to be me.
Said free merch.
Hey yo, I got monies too. I just got my bonus. The military just gave me my bonus.
Can I enter the contest?
We can also have our co-hosts enter in this as well.
I don't know, man.
If you guys win and complete the questions that we asked, the trivia questions that we asked,
this will be in the group.
Whatever you want. So but you also have to choose between the merch or, since everything is gaming themed, a GameStop gift card, and that'll allow you to get whatever game you please.
Oh,
so this man is on the
here. Oh, you kind sir.
This man is on
it. Game I please, because like these games run for $80 for the game that I want.
We ain't talking about collector's edition. Get out of here. We're talking
about y'all spoiled us, so we gotta spoil you.
You know how long in line I waited for this? I got this T-shirt for Kingdom Hearts because I got the deluxe version. I paid $100 for everything. Waited in line, all the stuff.
Oh God. Shit. Oh Lord.
That ain't me. That is not me.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Because we got a lot of gamers in our group, so they might bite the bait for the GameStop gift card. The sky's the limit with that. So it's now August 1st, 2021, and all the games that's released this month that you've been eyeballing, you could probably get it. You don't even have to spend a dime of your own money to get it. So
I like it.
Right, yeah.
Thank you for supporting us, man, and we'll pay you back in full.
That's what's up.
I like it. So, y'all better go ahead and find us on Facebook, Saturday Night Nerds. Look us up, get in there, and then be ready for these questions. These giveaways about to happen. And if you miss it, you got to wait for the next one. But free merch on the way, on the house. Don't worry about shipping. Don't worry about price. We got y'all. This is our thank you to y'all for rocking with us and getting us to where we at. So 9 minutes. Anybody got closing thoughts, final
what
thoughts?
Happens? I got a question. What happens if we hit 1,000 in 6 months? Like,
we'll figure that out in 6 months, William.
We'll buy a whole console for whoever wins our trivia question.
Wow. Until I get
no.
until I get one. Ain't nobody else in this group trying to win nothing until I get one.
Hey,
I'll be damned if I go for the PS5 and give that shit up and I ain't got one.
Becky, what are you doing?
You said you need a Nintendo Switch. Say no more.
Ain't nobody getting a PS5 before me. I'm
Ain't
sorry.
nobody get shit till I get shit.
Yeah, dang it, I ain't
Y'all
gonna got a
getting
PS5, bro.
Y'all getting the Xbox.
No,
OG Xbox
there's plenty of those.
with regular Halo.
If we're trying to game together, you need to get yourself a PS5, not no freaking Xbox. Get bent.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, bro.
Bent.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, bro.
Bent
I've been
like
giving
a
y'all my
plastic
60.
straw in the heat of Arizona.
First model 360
down,
with Saints Row.
Oh.
On
down.
Oh, damn. Y'all get
On
the
deck.
latest Sega
Off
Dreamcast.
planet.
Don't
On
make me
deck, baby.
mad.
On
That's
the
like saying you like dub or sub.
Calm down, Jackie. Calm down.
Oh, come
So you be
down.
watching Dragon? You watch Dragon Ball Z in sub? Is that what you saying?
That's
High
different.
five, Jackie. High five, Jackie.
Ah,
No, that's different.
High five, Jackie.
That's different.
High
That's
five,
different.
Jackie.
Hey, we cutting up.
Don't
Y'all
lie
take.
yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Episode 6, Saturday Night Nerds podcast. And if you're listening to the audio and you want to see the video, subscribe to Saturday Night Nerds network on our channel on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. We're also over on Twitch. We got a TikTok. We got an IG, all that stuff. So just come through, hang out with the crew, hang out with some fellow nerds, and just enjoy a community where you can be yourself. Let your nerd flag fly. That's all I got. We here with Jack Attack, Emperor Will D. Maben, Kid Big, Straw Hat Poppy. I'm Mac, aka your boy. Thank you guys for tuning in. See y'all next weekend. Be easy. Peace.